So Billy Elliot opened last weekend, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest. It was pretty touch and go right up till the final hour there. I wasn't sure that we were gonna have any kind of a serious opening. In fact, I was telling people that I knew, I'm like, maybe you should come the second weekend. Don't come the first weekend. And here's why. Let me explain why. This is a big show, huge show with music and choreography, and it's a big cast. I mean, there's just a lot going on in this show. And for a normal show, you get probably about it on average maybe about 2 weeks of rehearsal all in. In other words, 80 hours. To put together a normal show of this size. That's minimum, right? And most companies will do all right, 2 weeks of rehearsal, 5 to 6 days a week, 8 hours a day. That's kind of standard minimum to put on a show. Now, for South Pacific, we've got 5 weeks of rehearsal full time, plus 2 weeks of tech. Now, granted, we're doing 2 shows. We're doing American in Paris and South Pacific. So, but even then, that comes out to about 3 weeks per show. That full time. That's a lot of time to put on a show. For Billy Elliot, we had all in maybe 10 days. But here's the thing: it's not just 10 days, because it's it was 4 weeks, 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. It comes up to about 60 hours, and that's about 10 days. But you're also talking about with young actors, playing the lead roles. You're not talking about pros that are doing this. In fact, PJ, who's playing Billy, fantastic kid, really like him, very talented. Well, they got him because he's a dancer, which you have to for Billy Elliot, and that part is he has to be able to dance. I mean, the whole show revolves around this character being a fantastic dancer. So they scouted this kid because he could dance, and he was 11 years old when we were originally going to do this show, and then, as you know, COVID happened, and we had to postpone, and he literally turned 14 during the opening weekend. But he can still pull it off. But here's the thing, is that he's never done an acting role before. He's a dancer. And he stepped into this role, which is the biggest role you could probably do from when it comes to acting, dancing, and singing. I mean, he's got he's got to have 7 songs that he has to learn, and he's got at least as many dances, if not more, that he's got to learn. Plus, he's on almost every single page of the script. So, I mean, talk about overwhelming, and you don't know if he's going to be able to pull this off because he's never done it before. And we're standing there, and we're like a week or 2 out from production, from opening, and he's standing next to me, and he looks at me and he goes, I don't know how I'm going to do all this. I don't know how I'm... Because I don't know how I'm going to learn all these lines. And I looked at him and I said, PJ, you've had a year and a half. You're never going to get more runway than that. What have you been doing? And he kind of looked at me with this look of, I have no idea how to respond to that. Now, of course, I was kidding. I joked with him, and then what I told him was, look, kid, you're going to do this. And here's how you're going to do it. And here's my advice on how to get the memorization down. And after this show, every other show is going to be a piece of cake for you, because you literally stepped off into the deep end on this one. This is the hardest show you will ever have to do as an actor. And from here on out, it's all going to be downhill for you. And but it was, it was one of those things where with the dances and everything, and the dances were the choreography was getting switched up, and during the last week, and I mean, major switches. And there was just stuff that I was going, oh my gosh, I'm like, I don't know if we're going to be able to pull this off. I mean, we've literally only had 10 days to put this together, and I just don't know what this is going to look like. I mean, we didn't get our first full run through until the night before opening. That's how close we were cutting it. In fact, a few days before we were running through, we kind of did our first walkthrough of, for tech a couple days before that last run through, that final dress. And John Lalonde, who's the artistic director of the theater, came up, and I was talking to him afterwards, and I looked at him and said, "So, John, are we ready?" And he said, "Nope, not even close." And so anyway, and he was right. At that point, we weren't ready. We had a few more days of rehearsal before we were going up. But again, it was we were cutting it pretty close. I was pretty skeptical going into that first weekend. And, I gotta say, we crushed it. It was so good. Yeah, the first couple of performances, were a little shaky in the sense of us really knowing where to be and what we were doing, but we got into the rhythm as a cast really quick, and PJ crushed it. He did so good. Nobody would have known that that we had that little time to put this thing together. It's a beautiful show. It's a beautiful show. It came out just beautifully, and the lighting is beautiful, and the staging is beautiful, and the cast is tight, and everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing. And quickly. We fell into that really quickly, and I can't say this enough. I was very, very skeptical of this coming together like that, but it's a really beautiful show. I couldn't be more pleased with it. And it's everything that I really did hope it would be, as a performer and as a cast member. It's just a beautiful show. The acting is there. I don't think there's a single weak link in the cast. The staging is beautiful. The lighting is beautiful. The cast is on point. It's a fantastic show. I'm really happy about it, and I'm really going to be sad when this one is over. Again, it's on to the next one, but these people have really become like family to me, and it's going to be a sad time to have to walk away from this one. This is the kind where I always think about, could I do a Broadway show, doing every show, 8 shows a week for a year contract. I get so tired of it. I get so tired of it, I would think. And this is the kind of show like Billy Elliot, where I go, with this cast and these people, I go, yeah, I think I could do it. Like, this is a good group. This is a fun show. It's a beautiful show. I think I could do this one for that amount of time, and not get tired of it. But alas, this one's only a 4-week run, and then it's on to the next. If you're in town and you have a chance to come out and see it, tickets are going fast, they're selling out, but it's very much worth the price of admission. So that's it for now, and I'll talk to you later.